ladder, that means that it's not an A-frame ladder, but it's just a straight ladder, or you could think about it as a board or something like that, is 10 feet long, has to be leaned against the wall. So we could have the building is right here, the ground is here, and then the ladder is leaning against it. And that's a 10-foot ladder. And it's leaning against, so that the base, so that here's the base of the ladder, is 3 times further out. So this is 3 times bigger than the top of the ladder is from the ground. So it's saying if this, which we don't know, is just an X, so from the top of the ladder to the ground, that's going to be X, then the base has to be 3 times that. Okay, so assuming that the building is standing upright, this is going to be a 90-degree angle, and thus we've got a right triangle, and that means we can use Pythagorean theorem. So take these two, which are called the legs, and square them. And then that will equal the hypotenuse squared. So this is going to be 9x squared, plus another x squared is 10x squared. And on the right side, that's 100. So just a couple more steps. One would be divide both sides by 10 in order to isolate the x squared. And if you divide this by 10, you'll get a 10. And then square root both sides. Usually we do plus or minus the square root, but in this case, the side of a triangle cannot be negative, so it's the square root of 10. But usually in word problems, you should give a decimal answer, because if someone says, well, how far out should I put this ladder? And you tell them, how about 3 square root of 10? They're just going to drop the ladder and walk away. So we don't want that to happen. So instead, you'd say, oh, it should be about 3.162 feet off the ground right here. Okay, now go back and make sure that we answered the question. Find how far the base of the ladder is from the building. So that's this side, that's the 3x. So the 3x side would mean we need to triple that times 3, 9.487 feet. One last thing to do quickly is this, the hypotenuse, has to be the biggest side. So both of these sides have to be smaller than 10. So sure enough, if this would have turned out to be 12.487, then I would realize I did something wrong and go back and check it. But this looks okay.